Top 10 things to do in Ladakh, India. The remote high-altitude Union territory of Ladakh opened to visitors in 1974 after decades of conflict and has since developed into a prominent tourist destination. So let's check out the top 10 things to do in Ladakh. Number 10. Stay with royalty at Stock Palace. 19th century Stock Palace, about 30 minutes south of Leh, has been turned into a heritage hotel and private museum of the Ladakhi royal family. The palace overlooks the Indus Valley and is smaller and cozier than the one in Leh. The erstwhile king still lives there. He is passionate about conserving Ladakhi culture and likes his discerning guests to have a personal experience. While the museum is open to everyone, overnight guests are given a guided tour of the palace and may even dine with the king. Impromptu cooking sessions are possible in the royal kitchen as well. Number 9. Go trekking. There are treks for all levels of fitness and experience in Ladakh. The region is quite the trekker's paradise with stark landscapes, high altitude passes, ancient gompas, unusual flora and fauna, fascinating villages and even frozen rivers in winter. If you don't want to camp out, there are now village homestay accommodations on many treks. Number 8. Experience Ladakhi village life. Ladakh is a marvelous place to experience village life and there are options for all kinds of travelers. For luxury travelers, Shakti Ladakh has transformed several old village houses in rural Ladakh into elegant lodging. Nimmu House too provides quality accommodations in a village setting. Those who aren't too fussed about facilities will find plenty of homestays in variant quaint villages. Number 7. Visit the monasteries. Most tourists visit at least one Buddhist monastery. In Ladakh, nearly half the population there practices Tibetan Buddhism, so spectacular monasteries are dotted all over the region. Most can be visited on day trips from Leh or on the way to other destinations. Spituk is the closest monastery to Leh, whereas Lamayuru and Alchi are the region's oldest monasteries. Number 6. Try local food. You'll find that Ladakhi cuisine is heavily influenced by the surrounding regions including Tibet and Kashmir. Don't limit yourself to momos and thukpa when visiting this area. There are many other traditional dishes to try. One of them is kayu, a delicious indigenous pasta stew with root vegetables. Alchi Kitchen at Chutney Rantak in Leh gives a modern twist to it. Number 5. Give some love to abandoned donkeys. When many donkeys reach the end of their useful working lives, they are abandoned on the streets where they become weak and attacked by stray dogs. Animal lovers will appreciate the wonderful work the Donkey Sanctuary is doing to provide a home for homeless donkeys and treat their injuries. The sanctuary cares up to 30 donkeys at a time and visitors can pet and feed them. Number 4. Spend sunset at Shanti Stupa. Shanti Stupa is another standout place in the vicinity of Leh for views and it's particularly evocative at sunset. The white domed stupa was built between 1983 and 1991 by a Japanese Buddhist group to celebrate 2,500 years of Buddhism. The symbol of peace occupies a barren hilltop in Changspa opposite Leh Palace. Get there by taxi or climb about 500 steps to be rewarded with the panoramic view from the top. Number 3. Enjoy the views from Leh Palace. While you're exploring Leh, make your way over to Leh Palace, perched above the old town. Completed by King Singh Namgyal in the early 17th century, this former royal palace has outstanding medieval Tibetan architecture. Unfortunately, the royal family were forced to abandon the palace and relocate to Stock in the mid-19th century after the Dogra invasion. Much of it was in ruins until the Archaeological Survey of India's restoration. Number 2. Take a heritage walk of Leh's Old Town. Behind the market area, Leh's atmospheric Old Town is an amazingly well-preserved maze of narrow lanes and centuries-old mud brick houses. This rare example of an intact historic Tibeto-Himalayan urban settlement was originally situated within a walled fortification. The New York-based World Monuments Fund has included the Old Town on its list of 100 most endangered sites due to the threat of damage from climate change and poorly planned modernization. It's now being preserved by the Tibet Heritage Fund. Number 1. Wander through Leh's main market. If you fly into Leh, Ladakh Ladakh's tourist hub, you'll need to spend a few days there to acclimatize to the high altitude. Start off by wandering through the market area in the town center to orientate yourself. This lively commercial district was recently given a makeover as a part of a beautification project. Rows of Ladakhi women sit on the sidewalks selling homegrown local produce, and the shops are stocked with everything from souvenirs to trekking gear. So these were the top 10 things to do in Ladakh.